Picture this. You've got your Mickey ears on, your coffee in hand, and your heart set on magic, but you're shoulder to shoulder with 50,000 of your new closest friends. That's not exactly the fairy tale we're going for. When you go to Disney matters just as much as how long you stay or which resort you pick. The difference between a dream trip and a meltdown in Tomorrowland often comes down to one thing: timing. I've been visiting Disney parks for decades, through Florida humidity, California magic, and one memorable trip where I ate a churro so hot it could have powered Spaceship Earth. Today, I'm sharing when to go, when not to go, and how to plan your visit like a pro so you can actually enjoy the magic instead of waiting in line for it. Stick around until the end, because I'll share my favorite hidden gem weeks when the parks are practically empty. Yes, that still happens. Contrary to those who say the parks are empty, from my experience, most of the time they are still super crowded. Let's start out with section 1, the Disney year at a glance, Disneyland versus Walt Disney World. Let's talk timing, because while both Disney World and Disneyland run on pixie dust, they follow very different crowd and weather patterns. Think of them like siblings, both magical but with completely different personalities. Okay, winter, which is January to February. At Walt Disney World, winter is the calm after the holiday chaos. You'll find some of the lowest crowds of the year, cooler temps, and prime cardigan weather. But beware, this is refurbishment season. The Matterhorn or Big Thunder Mountain just might be closed. Oh wait, Big Thunder Mountain is closed as I record this. Anyway, a few rides could be getting their glow-ups. The trade-off? Glorious walk-ons and comfortable park days. At Disneyland, winter can be one of the best kept secrets for locals. The holidays wrap up by early January and the parks enter a blissful reset mode. Fewer tourists, lighter crowds, and mild California weather mean no humidity and almost no rain. Just don't be surprised if the locals think 65 degrees means parka weather. Spring is March through May. Spring brings flowers, festivals, and about 1 million school groups. At Disney World, this is when Epcot throws one of its prettiest parties, the Flower and Garden Festival. The weather is warm but not yet swampy, and the crowds are decent until spring break hits. And when it hits, every cheer squad, marching band, and family reunion shows up at once. At Disneyland, you've got perfect SoCal spring sunshine, 70s by day, sweater weather by night. The Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival draws local foodies, but it's manageable if you dodge weekends. The only wild card? Grad nights in late spring. Thousands of high school seniors celebrating with churros and adrenaline. If you value peace and quiet, check those dates before you book. Summer, June to August. Summer is what I call the season of sunscreen regret. At Walt Disney World, school's out and every human with a Mickey Mouse t-shirt descends on Florida. It's hot, it's humid, and you'll start questioning your life choices by the 3rd hour in line for Peter Pan's flight. The parks are open late and the afternoon storms can actually clear out some crowds if you're brave enough to wait them out. At Disneyland, summer brings more manageable weather, mid-80s and dry, but locals come in droves once the annual pass holder blockout dates lift. Crowds spike in late June through mid-August. You'll sweat less, but you'll still wait more. And of course, fall, which is September to November. This is when both parks put on their Halloween costumes, and honestly, it's one of the best times of year. At Disney World, after Labor Day, the crowds drop fast. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party starts as early as August. You'll find lower crowds, cheaper hotel rates, and weather that's still warm but finally bearable. At Disneyland, it's similar but with a local twist. Oogie Boogie Bash takes over California Adventure. Haunted Mansion gets its Tim Burton makeover, and crowds ebb and flow depending on party nights. September weekdays are perfection. October weekends are haunted chaos. This is not a season, but is a season in the holiday sense. Holiday season, November to December, the most magical time of year and the most crowded. At Disney World, you'll see the candlelight processional, giant gingerbread houses, and more matching family shirts than you can count. It's expensive, crowded, and worth it if you plan ahead. At Disneyland, it's cozy, charming, and packed with locals enjoying all the nostalgia. It's a small world holiday, and Haunted Mansion holiday are two of the most beloved overlays, and they alone can make the trip worth it. The moral of the story: timing is everything. The same month can feel totally different on each coast. If you love cooler weather and fewer crowds, aim for winter or fall. If you crave festivals and fireworks, spring or early summer might be your sweet spot. On to section 2, how to outsmart the crowds. Let's talk about everyone's least favorite Disney villain: crowds. You can't have the parks to yourself unless your name is Mickey Mouse, but you can get close. At Walt Disney World, crowd patterns are like predicting the weather. Part science, part sorcery. Avoid school breaks at all costs. Travel midweek. Tuesday through Thursday are usually quieter, and if you're an early riser, rope drop is your golden ticket. Be at the park before it opens, and you can knock out 2 or 3 major rides before the rest of the world finishes breakfast. If you're staying at a Disney resort, use early entry or extended evening hours. That's where the magic happens, literally. Now, Disneyland is a different beast. It's a locals park, which means weekends are chaos and Tuesdays are glorious. Avoid Southern California school breaks and beware of grad nights in late spring. Disneyland's Magic Key Blockout calendar is your secret weapon. When pass holders are blocked, crowds drop. You can also check reservation availability in the app. Light availability usually means lighter crowds. The big takeaway: Disney World crowds are driven by tourists and school vacations. Disneyland crowds are driven by locals and weekends. If you can swing a Tuesday in February, you've basically found the secret level of Disney planning. Next is section 3, Weather Watch. Let's talk about something that can ruin even the most magical day: weather. Because no matter how much planning you do, you can't ride schedule in lightning lanes your way out of a thunderstorm. At Walt Disney World, the weather is dramatic. You'll get 90 degrees, 100% humidity, and a thunderstorm that shows up out of nowhere just to say hello. The worst months for heat are June through early September. It's like walking through soup. Rain showers happen daily in the summer, but they're quick. Hurricane season runs August through October, but closures are rare. Winter and early spring are ideal. Mild temps, low humidity, and no melting Mickey ears. At Disneyland, the weather is practically perfect. Warm days, cool nights, and almost no humidity. Rainy days are rare but possible in January and February, and when it rains, locals vanish. Summer can still hit the 90s, but it's dry heat, so you'll sweat less and complain less. Fall brings those golden California evenings that make Main Street glow. Disney World is tropical chaos. Disneyland is eternal postcard weather. Pack smart and prepare for anything, because no one wants to discover swamp socks halfway through the day. Section 4, Holidays, Festivals, and Special Events. The parks go all out for holidays and festivals, and it's one of the biggest reasons fans plan trips around certain times of year. At springtime, at Walt Disney World, Epcot hosts the Flower and Garden Festival. Topiary Mickey, endless snacks, and butterfly gardens that make you feel like you're in a Disney nature documentary. It runs from March to early July. At Disneyland, the California Adventure Food and Wine Festival runs from March to April. It's perfect for anyone who thinks calories don't count when Mickey's on the label. Summer fun. Both parks celebrate the 4th of July with fireworks that would make Captain America proud. It's beautiful, it's patriotic, and it's packed. Fall and Halloween. At Walt Disney World, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starts in August. Trick-or-treating, unique shows, and the Boo to You parade. It's worth the price of admission alone. At Disneyland, Oogie Boogie Bash takes over California Adventure, and Haunted Mansion gets its Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. September and early October weekdays are gold. Winter and holidays, the finale of the Disney year. Both parks go full Christmas mode. Snow on Main Street, Cocoa Cards, wreaths on every lamppost. It's breathtaking. Disney World shines with the candlelight processional at Epcot and massive gingerbread displays at the resorts. Disneyland goes for cozy charm, small world holiday, haunted mansion holiday, and that timeless Main Street glow. If you're into festivals, fireworks, and limited edition snacks people would sell their souls for, plan around these events. Just remember, with extra magic comes extra crowds. Section 5. ideal times to visit. Now let's get to the big question. When should you actually go? Walt Disney World, mid-January to early February, post-holiday calm, cooler temps and lower prices. Late April to mid-May before schools let out. Great weather, Epcot in full bloom. Mid-September to mid-October, lower crowds, food and wine festival and fall decor. Early December weekdays, holiday magic without the Christmas chaos. Disneyland, mid-January to March. Fewer tourists, mild weather, locals still recovering from the holidays. Mid-May before Memorial Day, perfect weather, low crowds, extended hours. Mid-September to mid-November, Halloween magic, smaller weekday crowds and beautiful lighting. First 2 weeks of December, all the holiday decor, fewer locals, a total win. This is my very favorite time to visit either Disneyland or Disney World. The holiday magic is truly magical. The difference is simple. Disney World's rhythm follows national school breaks. Disneyland follows local life. Learn the pattern and you've basically hacked the Disney matrix. Section 6. Hidden Gem Weeks. These are the unicorn weeks Disney veterans whisper about in line when the parks almost feel private. Walt Disney World, first full week of February, post-marathon calm, pre-President's Day peace. Week after Thanksgiving, all the decorations, half the crowds. Early May, perfect balance of warmth and low wait times. Mid-September, empty queues, spooky treats, manageable heat. Disneyland, mid-January, post-holiday lull, perfect weather. First week of March, between rain season and spring break. Week after Labor Day, kids back in school, locals disappear. Mid-November, holiday decor up. Crowds not yet crazy. If you can land one of these weeks, it feels like Disney built the park just for you. You'll stroll down Main Street, hear the music echo, and for a moment think you accidentally bought the place. Then a toddler with a bubble wand will remind you that you did not, but it's still a magical moment. So there you have it, the ultimate timing guide to Disney parks. Whether you're a planner, a wanderer, or somewhere in between, knowing when to go is half the battle. Crowds go up, weather changes, but one thing stays true. There's always a little magic to be found if you know where to look. Tell me in the comments, what's your favorite time to visit Disney? Are you team off-season serenity or team holiday chaos? If you love Disney planning tips with a side of bad jokes and real-world advice, don't forget to hit subscribe. Until next time, may your lines be short, your shoes be comfy, and your Dole Whip never melt.